This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie. And
we love movies.
Oh, and JB, the kitty
And
cat.
JB is also here. She also loves movies.
Yes, she does.
And if you're watching this, you probably love movies too. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. If you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, please smash that subscribe button, hit that like, hit the notification bell, and all that jazz. If you're listening to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services, thank you very much. If not, you can listen to us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Also find us on social media at Hub on Hollywood.
Right.
Jamie, a lot of news and a lot of new things coming out, especially today. One of them being the new trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong. You haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. We're going to watch it together.
Great.
We are also covering Wandavision, right?
Right. So this is the third episode, first season of the first MCU post-Infinity War, movies on Disney Plus. And we're getting to know a little bit more about what in the heck is going on in WandaVision. So we're going to be talking about that.
I have several theories.
Yes, several theories.
This was a good episode for theories, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then later on we're going to be talking about some more films that are filming here in the New England region, ways that we can get you, into those films so that you can have a blast and say that you're famous and whatnot.
Yeah, and also, if you've watched The Mandalorian and you haven't seen it by now, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen it by now, this is your warning. Luke Skywalker, he shows up in the last episode of Season 2 for The Mandalorian. Well, his appearance had many people really talking online about their thoughts. Many people thought it looked very great. Yeah. A lot of other people, had their mixed opinions. Well, Corridor Crew, they just released a video with their take on their own CGI Luke Skywalker, and we took a look at that. We will talk about that. But first, WandaVision. This one... This one just my mind was exploding like every 5 minutes with a new theory. This one is my favorite episode so far of the series.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should just jump right in. So we are advancing in the eras of television. So Wanda and her twin brother, they grew up on American television, and I think that this is what she is creating around herself. So now we're in the 1970s. We're in a very Brady Bunch kind of house with the stairs, but everything else is kind of different. And Wanda is with child. James, Wanda is magically with child, and Vision, although he is a robot and used to spectacular things happening, is not buying that she is not only pregnant, but advancing so quickly. And we see that even Vision is starting to question what this world is that they're in. He says, this is something's not quite right, Wanda? Something is not quite right. And she resets him again. So this is kind of a continuing trend that we're seeing whenever something goes in a direction that is not to Wanda's liking in this world that we presume that she has created for herself. She resets it. She rewinds it and redoes it in a way that she likes. So the episodes revolves around the fact that she is advancing in pregnancy very quickly and then has her children. Who are twins. Not only
that, other characters are getting more, I wouldn't say creepy, but they're more sinister because Vision is now very well aware, as you mentioned, that something's off, something's weird, and after the reset, he realizes it again after seeing the two neighbors talking to each other and just how weirdly they are behaving, and then eventually they almost crack and spill the beans of what's really going on. And so it feels like things around, not only in the house or directly with Wanda and Vision, are starting to get shaky, but everybody else kind of dropping the guard of what's really going on.
Yeah, because one of the neighbors is when you were saying that Vision confronts them, what's going on? One of the neighbors was because you're all what? Are you all in on it? Are you all stuck in this world? Is this a
Yeah.
real town that's been kidnapped, or are you guys agents of some sort of organization? Like, what is going on here? They obviously are aware that Wanda is the center of what is happening. I believe the actress's name is Christine Hahn, a comedic actress who is playing one of the neighbors, and she just seems to be one of the hyper-aware characters in there. But one of the characters that gets the treatment, really, from Wanda is Geraldine. Geraldine, who we met in a previous episode, is kind of like a town manager or something like that. But she comes in, and the other characters are like, she doesn't have a house here. She doesn't come from here. Like, they're kind of letting Vision know that there's something up, there's something wrong. And
unlike the other characters, she also doesn't know what's going on, because they recapped the last episode saying, I don't know what I'm doing here, and that's exactly how Vision and Wanda felt the first episode. Like, they didn't know what the calendar event meant, what they had going on, what was really happening, and so she, unlike the rest of the characters, including aside from Wanda and Vision, doesn't know what's going on, and then it seems like she's snapped back into reality, and then falls back into this weird play.
Well, it happens.
And then she gets spit out.
But it happens at the same time that sort of Wanda starts to become more aware. So Wanda has her twins, Tommy and Billy, and she starts to talk about how she was a twin. She starts to remember her brother, Pietro, and that's when Geraldine says he was killed by Ultron, wasn't he? And that wakes her up, and that incenses her. Like, she becomes menacing and angry, and Geraldine seems to be confused, like she doesn't know how she remembers or something along those lines. And what is Geraldine wearing? A necklace with a symbol on it. Do you know what the symbol is, James?
It's indicating that she's a sword agent,
that
which
she
is like
an
the
agent
Avengers
of sword, right?
In space.
Avengers in space. Right. So we're going to be seeing sword. We're going to be seeing more of sword. And then, as you mentioned, Geraldine gets spat out of this reality, and there's a whole military encampment and vehicles and guns drawn and military soldiers coming in. It looks like Wanda has actually taken an entire town and enveloped it in her unreality.
Yeah. And so I think, this feeds into the theory that she is creating all this to cope with the loss of Vision. And at the beginning, the first half of this episode, I was really thinking, maybe Vision is really dead, and Wanda is really imagining all this, and this is all, again, a coping mechanism. But then the part where it had me, backtrack on that theory a little bit was when Vision realized the neighbors were acting weird and suspicious. And, he's noticing that separate from Wanda. Wanda's doing her own thing, and Vision is separate from that. And so is she pretending that Vision is realizing something's happening, or is Vision alive and actually, waking up?
Well, let's go into our theories. Let's go into theory territory here. Another thing that we see a lot of, and this is kind of where I think it's going, we see a lot of hexagons. And that's
I like
something
the Brady
that,
Bunch logo.
Yeah, with the hexagons, and that's something that I think Disney's just throwing out there, like, ooh, what do the hexagons mean? Well,
hexagon. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you were going to say this, but it's kind of linked to Loki. You see a lot of hexagons when it comes to Loki. So could this iteration of Wanda be connected to the other multiverse Loki that escaped with the Tesseract? And could this be an alternate dimension? But would Vision be there if this was that alternate dimension? I don't know. And I'm starting to think that that military compound that's around her, that maybe is Hydra or some other organization that is not SWORD. I think there are definitely at least two competing factions here trying to get to Wanda. What do you think?
I was not thinking that. When you said hexagon, it made me think about hexagon, where do we normally see that? We see that in bee nests, beehives, because they're making honey. And in the last episode, we had a beekeeper crawl out of a manhole.
Well, yeah, that's
and then
true,
Wanda, turned back immediately. So maybe again. So when you mentioned the hexagon, that reminded me that created that theory. So that one just popped up.
Okay.
But yours is very likely too. I mean, what's his name? Loki is getting his own show. Do they need WandaVision to introduce it? I'm not quite sure.
Well, even if they don't need it to introduce the Loki show, I know that they're going to be working to interconnectedly weave all of the shows together before they move into the next phase of movies. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So in one way or another, I know that they're going to try to connect each of these shows. And the MCU does it like nobody else. They invented it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now, that the direction of it is going to go, that this will be in some way connected to the new Loki show.
As for another theory that popped up, we know that Wanda, her pregnancy was put on steroids and done in a matter of hours apparently. Do you think her twins are going to continue growing at a fast pace, and then we're going to see the adults, Billy and Tommy, and then they may have powers of their own, of course?
Yeah, I think so.
Or are they baby form? Are they baby Yoda form?
I think they will.
And Disney's going to milk this for as long as they can.
No, I think that they will grow quickly. And the show is going to, the WandaVision show is going to keep advancing in the eras of television. And I think they're going to start having, bigger kids. Now, the question that I have is, are these kids real? Are these kids real? And if her little reality bubble pops and her children are not with her anymore, how is that going to break her?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, no. That's the big question.
That's scary.
Yeah, so, because Wanda is obviously very powerful, so that would be very bad. As we saw with the false contractions and then the birth, she's very powerful. She can't control it.
Oh, my God.
But, so I think those are my main theories. But for the next episode, I'm excited. I wonder which, what era of sitcom are they going to hit next? Are they going to hit like the Cosbys, but not really the Cosbys because of Bill Cosby, but a similar maybe Family Matters, that kind of feel or vibe?
Yeah, maybe.
That would make sense for a family if she has kids.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
No, definitely. We will see. I guess we shall see. They're coming out a new episode every week on Disney Plus, so we'll keep an eye on it for you guys, and we would love it if you would keep an eye on us. Join us on YouTube to see our beautiful faces. Listen to us wherever major podcasts are playing. You can find us, The Hub on Hollywood. Like us, share us, subscribe, all of the above. We can't wait to talk to you about these things. If you have a theory, what is your WandaVision theory? What in the world do you think is going on here? Leave it in the description below, in the comments below, and we will chat back with you.
All right, so hitting these casting calls, I think this one surprised me. This is Boston Casting, casting for singles for a Christmas dating show. Obviously, it's not Christmas anymore, so this is very interesting. But I guess we're looking for single men, 25 to 35 years old. They're looking for people who are single, who are searching for that merrily ever after. So, do you want to live out your favorite holiday rom-com movie? Is how they describe it.
Yeah.
They're putting this again. So this pays apparently $1,200 a week. It covers travel expenses. I'm sure lodging expenses. It shoots the first week of February because Christmas takes place in February, but it shoots in February through April in California. So you can get out of this cold, wintry, life that we call, reality, and leave for California, sunny Southern California. This, again, you must be single. So send your name, 2 to 4 photos of yourself, your Instagram handle, city, where you live, contact information. Send that to Boston Casting Submit 9, the number 9, at gmail.com. And what do you think this is all about? I'm kind of confused.
Well, you know what, James? I think maybe it takes that long to vet these people, because sure, you sign up for a dating show, but they got to go and make sure that you're not a murderer or something, James. And even if it is set in sort of a Christmas-y theme, they can record that at any point and just make you dress up like it's Christmassy and then just play it during the Christmas season. So, a lot of these reality shows are not really that real.
Wait. That can't be true. It's called reality TV.
No. Yeah. Speaking of reality, not reality, not reality. We've got another film that is coming to the area that's very exciting. We've got some A-listers, James, that are on their way to New England. It is a project called The Tender Bar. The Tender Bar. Now, this is an autobiographical film, The Tender Bar. George Clooney is directing. And reportedly has just signed on Ben Affleck to star in it. Ben, a local boy, Boston boy, gonna be working with the Clooney. But it follows the story of a Pulitzer Prize winning newspaper reporter who grew up without a father. And he would go to his uncle's bar looking for a father figure in all of the patrons that would come and frequent the bar. So it's very much a character-driven kind of story. Hey, George Clooney, Ben Affleck, and we don't know yet who else is going to be in the film, but they are looking for the background extras right now. It's Boston Casting that is working on that, so go ahead, sign up for bostoncasting.com, get the emails for this work. But they're looking to start shooting in late February. This is going to be late February through mid-April. And if you want to work on this project, go ahead and sign up for bostoncasting.com. Boston Casting also looking for a slew of people to work on a project called Kevin Can F Himself on one of the networks. So they're looking for a lot of people filming at the end of this month and into the next month. So a big project in the works there. Also, plenty of opportunities for folks who would like to get their on-screen debut and hang out behind movie stars and have a really cool experience, James.
Yeah, that could be you. That could be you right now.
Exactly. So go ahead and do it quickly. What are you waiting for? Sign up, and if you get cast, let us know. Tell us all about it.
Let us know. We'll invite you to be on the Hub on Hollywood. We'll talk to you. It'll be fun. Mm-hmm.
But speaking about projects that are on their way to us, James, they've already been filmed. They're done. They're in the can. They're ready. They're coming our way.
Uh-huh.
A very exciting one.
Are you talking about Godzilla versus Kong?
Yeah. There we go. For those of you who can't see me, I'm doing the chest beating, yeah, King Kong.
Okay, your screen actually froze, so I could not see that, but I could hear it. I could feel the thumps.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, the trailer just dropped today. When the news broke, how many years ago? 3 years ago, that Godzilla would be fighting Kong. Everyone was wondering, Kong is so much smaller than Godzilla. What's going to happen? And we found out that, no, Kong's going to keep growing. And apparently, we get our first look at a full-grown sized King Kong ape going at it with Godzilla. So I haven't watched the trailer. You haven't watched the trailer. If you're ready, do you want to go right into it?
Let's do it. I'm ready. In 3,
all right. 3, 2, 1.
Go. Oh my. Why do people keep building buildings? Is my question. If they're all just gonna get knocked down.
I know. Oh wow. It's a big
building.
We have to take it.
Kong hand. Oh!
A very sleepy King Kong.
On a big barge.
The world needs him to stop what's coming.
Oh no. A bigger threat.
Child.
A child?
She's the only one he'll communicate with.
Of course.
Well, isn't that convenient?
They had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her. And I think that in some way, Kong did the same.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Has the world turned on Godzilla after he's done so much for us? Oh crap!
It's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla. Oh my.
These are dangerous times.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
Ooh.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Nobody gonna stop me. Here we go.
Kong bows to no one.
Whoa.
Okay, that looks really
Well,
good. I don't know
then.
about you.
No, it did look good. I mean, if you like that, if you like, just action and big monsters and a lot of CGI, it looks cool.
I'm
It
a
looks
simple
super
man.
cool.
No, that looks actually pretty. That looks much better than I expected. That trailer and the movie. I guess the plot to be. The one thing that kind of not irked me, but like in the last movie, you had Millie Bobby Brown. Her character was like speaking to Mothra. Why is it a small child that needs to be speaking to these monsters? Like, keep these children away. You don't know what they're gonna do.
It's not safe. It's not safe. But
It's a big ape.
It's a winning formula. You've got to give.
Yeah.
You've got to give the audience something to root for. Everyone wants to root for a small child. It's also called. Oh my gosh, what is it called? They teach you in screenwriting class. It's a Save the Cat.
Save the cat. Save the kittens.
Yeah, something like that.
So save the child.
You vindicate your monster or your villain by having them,
I guess,
have this little this soft side of them or whatever. It's like a humanizing feature or whatever. Anyways,
No, I get that because it sounds like Godzilla is apparently acting not normally by attacking people, so it's probably being controlled or influenced to do something like this. And King Kong. Yeah, it looks like he's very sedated because I think he could break through those chains, and so I think it's sedated. But fighting and trying to stop this thing.
So
the child is to make it feel like okay, Kong's a good guy for sure. Yeah. And Godzilla is it means well, but it's being poked or prodded somehow, I'm sure.
So at this point, like, wasn't the last movie like humankind is being kept as like a pet by Godzilla or something like that?
He's a caretaker. He's really a caretaker for the land. He's making sure humans don't mess it up too much.
But why do humans keep building all of these damn buildings if they've got these big giant monsters that can just come through and kill everybody and knock down all their cities? And I would be living in the mountains in a little shack in a cave. I wouldn't be anywhere near a population center if that was my world. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'd have to tag Godzilla somehow. Because I'm sure you can tag Godzilla when he's not looking. As he's leaving after the last destruction. Leave the tracker so you know where it is. Warn people well in advance. But
like a hurricane warning, except it's a Godzilla warning.
Yes.
Sure.
Like a shake alert, but for Godzilla. Yeah, that makes sense. But I like this. I'm actually I'm really excited actually to watch it. It's going to be on HBO Max and in theaters in 2021, but they don't say a month.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure like with everything else, it's been shaken up by, the COVID, and we'll figure it out, but it looks great.
All right, what do you think? Have you watched the King Kong trailer? If you watched us, you watched it right with us. So, what did you think? Lastly,
speaking of special effects,
yes. So there's this YouTube channel that I absolutely love and millions love as well called Corridor Crew, and they went back to the last episode of The Mandalorian season 2, and again we spoiled it in the beginning, but Luke Skywalker, a younger version of Luke Skywalker, shows up and takes baby Grogu away to learn the ways of the Force, and which was a great scene, and it's funny because in the video when they a Corridor Crew's video they replay that whole scene, I got emotional again. So that was a nice visit. But they are CGI artists and they're very good at their job, and so they took it upon themselves to try to improve the CGI, because there was some controversy. Some people, they then, legitimately do like it because, it is a lot of hard work to make it look that good. Other people, had their criticisms, and so they took their own shot at it, and they released a video today showing their "We Made a Better" CGI Luke Skywalker, and I think they improved on it. I think a lot. I thought that they were able to really give this version of Luke more facial expression. The eyes were moving. I feel like the lips were more fluid, I think. And I really love the way they did it. But I think you have some differing opinions.
Yeah, I mean, the Luke Skywalker in the show, in The Mandalorian, I think was a very soft kind of take on the features, and it didn't move as much, but I think that there was a reason for that, because so I like the Luke Skywalker that they came up with. I really love how they break down just how much work goes into creating these deepfakes and how intensely difficult it is to master. But by having it like sharper, you can see that it's more robotic almost. Like I had a problem with the way that it was talking, like the mouth, like it looked like it was a computer more because it was sharper and it didn't like connect as well with the body. But I did like the lighting better. I think they got the lighting better. I think they got the flashes in the eyes better. Because they were saying like the Luke Skywalker in the actual show kind of had like this omnidirectional lighting, whereas everyone else had directional lighting that made them more real and like in the space. So it wasn't as realistic. But so I have mixed reviews. Okay, I think it's got better lighting, better eyes, but it's sharper and not as realistic, and I had a problem with the mouth. But man, it was still pretty damn good for a couple of weeks of work, and then they're like, "Hey, Disney, give us a call,
hire us."
Yeah.
No, and I don't mean to, and hopefully it didn't come across this way, but for the CGI artists who made the version that came out in The Mandalorian, it does take a lot of hard work, and what they did is nothing to sneeze at, because that is very impressive in its own right, and it is done very well. So I wasn't trying to discredit the CGI artists, but it shows there are different ways to try to get the same end result, and I don't know. I feel like the Corridor Crew kind of edged out the Mandalorian version, but still, again, I think it's just a credit to the actual hard work that you don't see behind the scenes of all of these movies. Yeah, you see Mark Hamill, you see Daisy Ridley, you see Adam Driver, but all that background work, the CGI work that takes hours or months and sometimes years to work on. So kudos to all of them too.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's movie magic, James. It's the magic of all of it. So no, that's really, really cool. And I don't know if we're gonna see Luke again in The Mandalorian. I kind of suspect that we will. And maybe it won't be.
If they do, call Corridor Crew.
Yeah, call Corridor Crew. And I don't think it'll be as secretive if we have Luke back in The Mandalorian. But we are going into season 3, season 4? Season 3. But I believe we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for it to be released. So, but there's plenty of other content to watch in the meantime, and that's what you have us here for, to tell you what to watch and to analyze and have fun while doing
deep
that.
Analyzing. We do deep dives into this.
Yeah.
The deepest of analyzing. No, but yeah, let us know what you think about the Corridor Crew. Check out the video. Do you think it's better than how it came out in The Mandalorian, or do you think The Mandalorian is great for for what they had and what they worked with? Again, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe, smash that follow, hit that like us, love us, gotta have us. Follow us on the Hub on Hollywood, and until next week, I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
Bye.